It really is a cool connection, and shout out to your mom too. She's been wonderful. Getting
Yep.
to know her as well. How long have you been connected to rugby?
So I basically was born with a Gilbert rugby ball, but officially started playing it since first grade. So it was one of like my first sports I've ever played, just because my mom did play like when she was my age and stuff. But yeah, I've basically always been around it with like youth programs.
Join me, Jeremy Swick, on Into the Unknown, a podcast that delves into the personal journeys, stories, and experiences of individuals across diverse professions. As a historian by trade, I firmly believe that our personal histories shape our present and offer valuable insights into our paths ahead. With that being said, let's get into it. On this episode of Into the Unknown, I am joined with a very special guest, Giabella Romano. How are you doing today, Giabella?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get into the conversation.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited.
So, one of the ways I like to kick off the show and talk about the importance of networking, how do we know each other?
So we met at the USA Women's Rugby and Referee like conference. So I don't know. I just like volunteer at it. I try to do it every year. And it's just like such a cool opportunity. So we met that way and we did like a little interview type thing. But yeah, it was really cool getting to hear like so many like speakers at that conference, and then like they let the high schoolers like volunteer to make those type of connections because so many of the college coaches go there. So it was awesome.
It really is a cool connection, and shout out to your mom too. She's been wonderful. Getting
Yep.
to know her as well. How long have you been connected to rugby?
So I basically was born with a Gilbert rugby ball, but officially started playing it since first grade. So it was one of like my first sports I've ever played, just because my mom did play like when she was my age and stuff. But yeah, I've basically always been around it with like youth programs.
It really is a cool atmosphere to be around, and as many of us know, we all have rugby nicknames. Mine's Sumo, so it's easy to say on the pitch.
Nice.
Tell me yours.
So I mostly just go by G. It's just really easy to say versus the whole like Giabella ball. Like it's a little too many syllables. So most of my rugby people call me G, or if you know me for a bit longer, G Money. But yeah.
It's great. I love how those nicknames form. And we were talking before the show. It's funny because, of course, that makes sense. Giabella, much shorter and easier to say G. But then sometimes there's names that make no sense, much like Sumo, that, just stick and it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm okay with that.
It stays with you.
So I want to know a little bit more about your origin story. Who are you and where are you from?
Yeah. So I just turned 18 and I am currently committed to play for Notre Dame this fall. So I'm really excited about that. But during my high school years, I played all 4 years. Started with like 15s and sevens. Our like rugby team is club at my school. So getting to really be part of something that's like not a varsity sport. Like not everyone knows about rugby, and like it definitely was growing the more people were joining. Like we had a really big season when I was a freshman. We won state for like sevens, 15s. Like we had just so many girls wanting to join, and just had such a big community with it. And then recently we had our like state championship for the 15 season, and my team got second place. So we were runner up by just 3 points. So it was a really close match, really competitive. But it just shows like so many of our girls like just got into the sport. They just learned what a rugby ball was like a couple months prior, and they came that far. And it was such a just cool experience, like being like Division 1, having so many like amazing teams to play against. So it was so awesome to play at that somewhat higher level. But I ended up with like getting MVP for that match, and that was like so unbelievable. Like I literally couldn't predict it whatsoever. So I got recognized that, voted by other coaches. So being recognized for just like being there for my teammates, like it really was just that. Like my teammates make me so successful, and I just get the luckiness of scoring the try and everything, getting some cheers, but they do so much behind the scenes, and like I am so incredibly grateful for my team, and then coming up, getting to meet so many new teammates and players at college.
It really is exciting, especially you have those great teammates around you. And as you mentioned, it is kind of a newer sport to a lot. So, how do you
Yeah.
think you playing since first grade really helped you kind of grow as a player?
Well, yeah, I just like if I really think about it, like when I was playing first grade, like doing flag and then like touch and then all this stuff, like I was just playing as just every other sport. I didn't actually take it seriously until maybe like middle school when I realized like, oh, I'm like really just being myself on the pitch. I don't have to like be a certain like type as a rugby player. Like and then just being with so many girls, I think we won state my eighth grade season too, and I got to captain those girls teams, and it was just incredible because like everyone was so different. Like there was not a single same body type or anything, single personality. Like none of us were friends prior, but we all just joined this rugby team, and like all the personalities really just showed on the pitch. Like there was just like girls that were so strong and muscular, and then like people more like me were just like we're just fast and we can just hit hard sometimes, and just like amazing like ways that you don't have to be a certain type. Like rugby really like shows like people's how like unique you are.
It, it really is neat about rugby, though, because it is such different body types, and they all have, especially on 15s, everyone's body type and everyone's body has a specific use on the field. So it is so cool to have so many different caliber and different types of people all playing together on one team.
Mm, I love it.
Now, I want to ask, as you mentioned, you're headed to Notre Dame this year to play rugby. When did the
Yeah.
idea of playing in college really start to enter your kind of thought?
Yeah, so I think it was more so my freshman season. I got introduced to like the Next Phase Rugby app, where you could connect with coaches that way. And even though like college coaches aren't really recruiting freshmen at that age, that you're really just like figuring yourself out. Like I was like, wait, like this can really like take me to its like certain places. And like my mom would always tell me stories about her just like traveling the world with rugby. Like she played it in Australia and New Zealand, and how much she loved it. And it just really like made me want to play too there. So I think I definitely took like was taking it more serious freshman, sophomore year, getting into it. Um, and just I started my rugby Instagram in that grade, and then just recently I hit 1,000 followers, and that was like a really big milestone for me because I just didn't think it would get like that. Because I was just posting like my rugby stuff. I didn't think people would be like that interested. I just knew that I'd kept my personal page for like all of my like posts with like friends and stuff, and I was like, wait, I think I should do like something specifically for recruiting because I do want to like I see myself playing in college. So I started that up, and it just has come so far too.
Now you mentioned you've been able to play a lot more, and I know we talked ahead of time that you played for a lot of different teams. Can you tell me about kind of
Yes.
some of those different experiences?
Yeah, so there's obviously my teams in Indiana specifically. So local teams, I have Carmel Rugby Club, which I play for high school, and then I play Indy Speed, which is an all Indiana girls team. We actually have a game Sunday coming up, so I'm excited for that. Then recently, I've joined Circle City Tempest, and they are based in Indianapolis, and it's in like U18 up, like sorry, an 18 older um like division. So getting to play with some older girls. I know my coach really wanted me to challenge myself and like play at that higher level because I'm just used to like playing at high school right now. So just like seeing what that is like, playing some sevens rugby is always nice. And then Thursdays I do touch practices with White River's men's rugby team. So that's kind of just based off Indiana. And then obviously I try to grow myself with travel teams. So I played for Atlanta starting my eighth grade year, and that was like kind of my first travel team I was introduced to, and they've given me so many amazing experiences just all around the country. And then I also played with Rugby Advantage for a while, going like talks with them in New York Sevens. And then I'm trying to think of some other ones. So I did Rugby Expo Academy too, which they're incredible as well. Like I recommend that to every single player. They help me so much. Really deciding what I want as a player and how rugby can take me there. So I like gave them all my goals and everything, and like I started it last summer because I really like had no idea what like college team I wanted to play for. I was like, what's gonna be the best for me as a player and as just a person, just as a student going to school. So
I,
that's kind of the gist of all the teams and everything.
I think it is really cool to have those other experiences because, of course, as you mentioned, you played in high school with your club, but to actually get to travel a little more. And again, we talk about all those different players. When you're playing with people from all over, there's so many different styles of rugby, even.
Yep. And just so many different teachings too. Like I had the opportunity to just kind of collaborate with different coaches too, coming from different backgrounds. So I like had some Olympic coaches and then just some that played club footy like with their teams, and like they all brought so much perspective and had such great feedback for me to adjust as a player. And so every team I like travel with, I always like come back with such a positive experience, truly.
I love to hear that. What made you
Yeah.
choose Notre Dame? I know last time we talked, you were still in the midst of deciding of where you were thinking about going.
Yeah. So for Notre Dame, I met with Chago fall seven season. So it wasn't really what I was looking at yet, especially because I was like, I'm not getting into this school. Like, I'm not even like really thinking of it in my radar right now. And they're like rugby team so good. I'm like, I don't think I like they would even want to recruit me or anything like that. So I talked to him, and when I first like met him, I had my broken wrist. So I had my like cast all the way up my arm, like just crippled, and like this like I was like, he's not gonna recruit me when he just sees like a huge cast and injured player right now. He's never even seen like any of my film, like doesn't really know who I am, and so I still like got the courage. I was like, just introduce myself, and he was literally so funny and awesome, and I'm so glad I met him. And he was telling me about their programs and how Notre Dame has a tri-campus, so they have Holy Cross and St. Mary's as part of their tri-campus. So I went to Holy Cross before for confirmation, and I got to like stay in the dorms and everything, and I really loved their college. And then St. Mary's, Mia Walker is from there, and she has made such an impact on the Notre Dame rugby team. So I like was doing my like more research there. I was like, wait, I like stayed at Holy Cross College. Like, let me look at like that kind of route because I'll still be able to play for Notre Dame, and like they still have so many opportunities for students to even take classes at Notre Dame and like do that pathway without having like my big thing. Like my parents are both teachers, so I was really looking for schools that were also affordable but had great rugby programs. So like looking at Holy Cross was a little bit of more realistic choice for me, and then like having a more small campus like opportunity because my graduating class was 13,000, 14,000. So I went to a really big high school, and like having a more small like I don't know meaningful like college experience like was really in the sentence for me.
I think it's really important because, as you mentioned, you're figuring out what you like, just not only as a player, but as a person as well. And so, going that route, I think probably was the best decision for you. And it's exciting, I'm sure, to see that journey kind of unfold. Because, as you mentioned, it wasn't really even on your radar as a possibility.
Yeah, exactly. I was like obviously going to different college games too. Like I went to like IU's games and Michigan's, and because they're all in the same conference, they have tournaments in Indiana. So I was like always watching them and considering, but I just really didn't know which school was the best fit for me until I started to really connect with those coaches.
I think it's so important to connect with those coaches ahead of time when you're able to because again, as we mentioned, it's so much seeing that fit. Are you going to mesh well with that coach? And of course, it's a little different once you get there, but at the same time, it's that excitement and it's that feel that they want you there as well. You're not just showing up, you
Yeah,
know.
for sure. It was like so much about chemistry, and even like all of the girls and the players that were on the team, like they were so welcoming. So I already decided at the time. It was in March, and I actually went on my birthday. They were doing an Irish Sevens tournament, they're hosting it, and I got to like touch judge and like talk to all the girls and like talk to the coaches and everything, and it was like I just really knew I made the right choice in my decision. Like it was such a assuring moment that I was like, I really do feel in place here. And I also had like teammates that were coming in the same class as me. So Maddie was like touch judging with me, and she's
I love that. On everyone's journey, you make a decision not really knowing the outcome. Can you give me a time where
Mhm.
you just went for it?
Yeah. Let me think about that actually. The time that I just went for it. Hmm. I think I like the first thing I think of is just like on pitch decisions, where I'm just like, I'm not the best kicker. Like I don't even think I should be kicking the ball. I don't think I should be like taking into contact because I'm not even like as like heavy of a forward, because that too, like I have just recently been part of the forwards group as a flanker, as opposed to being a backs for like my whole rugby career. So that was such a cool experience for this season. But I was thinking a game against Warsaw, who is the team who won state this year, where I kicked the ball and then I ended up like receiving it and then scoring a try off it, and it was like I did not even have the courage to it. I was like, let's just see what happens. Like, let's just do it. And I think just like trusting myself as a player, I was like, okay, the second I make this decision, like I have to follow through with it. And I trust my teammates so much, like they're gonna have my back. Like the second I get that ball, like I'm gonna have support too, even if I get tackled. So I think that was like the main thing I was thinking.
Gee, that's awesome. I think it's so important to not only trust yourself, but trust your teammates. And as you mentioned, you've been
Yeah.
playing quite a long time. And I think so much of that is reminding ourselves. So much I think we listen to the voice in between our ears more than we should sometimes. It's like, oh, well, I can't do that. I don't do that. And sometimes it's like, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's see how it is. As you mentioned, trusting your teammates and all that. I think it pays off more than we sometimes give ourselves credit for.
And it's really like the relationship between me and my teammates that is just so strong. Like I hang out with those girls every single day, and they're people that I probably wouldn't have met if it wasn't for rugby. Like we're all from our different like kind of cliques at high school right now, and just obviously different grades too. Like we had so many freshmen coming in this year, and the like bonds I'd have with them, and like offloads and everything. Like they're such amazing players, and I can't wait for like upcoming seasons where they're just really going to show that off. I was lucky, like again, being recognized as MVP during my senior season. But if you think about my freshman season, I wasn't even played at state. Like I was like on the bench the whole time, and I got to see all my like seniors win state, and I wasn't even put in that whole game to be as a starter, like just being part of that team, getting MVP. Like that was such a cool like I don't know, journey for me. But yeah, those girls are amazing. Can't wait to see like what they're gonna do.
It really is neat, and it's funny because as you continue to play, you're going to learn more and more. None of your teammates are similar in any way, shape, or form. I'm at the club stage in life, and everyone's
Yeah.
we have doctors, lawyers, we have journeymen, electricians, people who own their own business like myself. It's so funny because those couple nights a week we get to come hang out, you have a good time, but also get to play rugby. And then on Saturday, it's so funny because, some guys are single, some guys are married, and their kids are along. And it's just so cool to see that wide group of people that I normally would never be friends with all come together for like one purpose and one goal.
Exactly. And it really was just one goal for us. Like we were so dedicated. Like we wanted to win so bad, and we wanted to just make each other successful. It was really just the thing. We didn't care who scored the try, who made that play. Like we all like support each other so much, and I think that's why we had like an undefeated regular season, is because we just trusted each other and had that like stronger relationship. Like the Cornwall rugby community was just like no other. I was just so lucky to have like such a nice high school experience as rugby, and if it wasn't for that, like I probably wouldn't be playing in college too. Super lucky.
Title of the podcast, Into the Unknown. What are you working on now? What's your summer rugby plans before you head off to school?
Hmm. So just many rugby plans, truly. I'm playing again with Indy Speed. First game is Sunday, so they're all girls I've literally been playing against for the past couple months and just been hitting and tackling, and then now I'm playing with them, which is like so funny to me. So I get to actually like connect with them more versus just like socials after games. And I already know them so like well as a player, so I feel like the chemistry is going to be pretty nice. And getting to enter into those tournaments and see how it goes. Also, the coaches are from other teams too, so they already have seen me play and know what I'm like. So getting to get some feedback from them finally, and see what they have to say about my playing. I'm excited to hear. Then I have Circle City Tempest. So we have practices Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. And the owner of it is like the girl who like referees like most of my games, Macy. And she's known me since like 7th grade. Like she like has been around it so long, and she like recruited me to play for the women's team. And I was like, oh my gosh, like playing with like older women, like I don't think I'll like be that like, but they were so welcoming. Like they really just wanted me to be there. I'm like, oh my gosh, like thank you. And then I was thinking, I'm other tournaments. I'm working 30 hours a week, so I am still balancing my job too, which is really nice because it aligns with my major. So I'm going to major in marketing and sales for college. So I work as a consultant as a salon right now, and I get to do sales and stuff, and I adore my job so much. So getting to be with that as well, but just kind of balancing both. And then I have a trip in Mexico with my friends and family as like a graduation gift. So.
That sounds like it sounds like a really exciting, fun summer of work and rugby and some vacation there too.
Yep, a bit of everything.
If people want to follow more about your rugby journey, where can they find you online?
Yep, so I have a rugby Instagram for Giabella Plays Rugby. So I post literally everything there, of what I'm up to, all my tournaments, practices, stuff like that. So you can follow me there.
Well, Giabella, I want to say thank you again for taking the time to talk with me. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm excited to see
Yeah.
your rugby journey continue to unfold.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, talk soon.
Another fun episode of Into the Unknown. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen. And if it provides you any value or entertainment, I would love if you shared it with others, liked, subscribed, and really just help the podcast grow. Again, tell a friend, tell a foe, just anyone who might enjoy hearing some stories of people's own journeys and what got them to where they are today. Till next time.